Hi everyone, it's Susan Melchek here and I'm welcoming you to the subject HCS102, Communication and Human Services. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the subject in case you're all wondering and worrying about whether you have done this communication or something similar subject before. And I just want to reassure you that nobody has done such a subject as this one. It's been specially designed to capture the metaphor of the layers of dolls within each other. So we start from talking about the intrapersonal, and then we talk about the interpersonal, we talk about the systems way of communication, and then we talk about the extra-dimensional communication. Now, from the intra right through the extra-dimensional is where this subject is quite unique, because no other communication subject, as I said before, does what we do. Now, a short introduction. The subject intends to be quite provocative and challenging in the learning experience. That is, there is an explicit requirement for students to discuss a range of topics that illustrate communication experiences of a personal, social, organisational, political and even spiritual nature. This can seem overwhelming, particularly with some of the language and texts used. I'm very aware this is the first time many of you have come to university, so you won't be familiar with the academic language, but you do need to get on top of the texts and language that we use in human services. And to a huge extent, you do need to get on top of the academic language, because that's the kind of language that you will have to integrate into your assessment items. And so students are pursuing a career where such exchange and constant seeking of knowledge is absolutely critical to the practice of the profession of human services. You're expected to demonstrate critical judgment about what content information is appropriate and how that information will contribute to any discussion, especially information about a personal nature. You should be considerate and respectful of the experiences of others in terms of different abilities, gender, sexuality, culture, faith and belonging. Sorry, that was a big loud noise in the background. Now, how this subject is taught. It's presented by multi-layered themes, ideas, topics, areas of interest, to reflect the structure of communication itself. To illustrate this point, we have adopted the symbolic representation of the matryoshka or Russian nesting dolls, and particularly in relation to the adult communication management model from Kay. Now, we talk about Kay as a model of communication management in this textbook. Now, this textbook has been compiled by myself with 3 other subject coordinators, lecturers, colleagues within the university, and we've brought together, compiled means to bring together, 4 different sources of different texts from different authors. Now, there is a bit of a challenge in how to reference this textbook, but don't get overwhelmed by that, because we show you how to do that. Now, this book is a prescribed textbook. We want you to buy it, we want you to get hold of it, and we want you to be actively using it throughout the session. If you can't get a copy for whatever reason, you can approach the library and they will happily print off and copy off for you different chapters and send to you, but you're the one that needs to do that. Unfortunately, it's against copyright for me to upload chapters onto the site, onto your subject site, for you to access, so I'm really sorry about that. Another subject, another textbook that we're recommending. Now, this one you do not have to buy. We are recommending it only. It is written by Thompson and Thompson, who are 2 researchers and authors that we use constantly in this particular subject. And we have a reading that we've always used about reflective practice. But they've just released in 2016 this textbook, and it's called The Social Work Companion. You do not have to buy this, okay? So please don't go away thinking, oh my God, I've got to buy 2 textbooks for this subject. This is just for your reference. It's a textbook As I said, that's brand new and may be used in other subjects. So it's not a bad investment. So have a think about that. One of the other things and ways that we teach the subject, and you'll hear this quite often through all your different subjects, is we use the model of the thinking, being and doing model. That cycle of not only thinking about what you're doing, but also thinking about who you are, where you come from, that being aspect, and then of course putting all of that into practice and applying what you're learning in this subject to what you're doing in the external world. Okay, that's it for now. So welcome again, and I hope you have a wonderful time this session completing the subject.